Hey everyone, today I want to go over how to remove the driver's seat from a Toyota Corolla as well as how to make a minor seat repair for a manual seat. I was experiencing an issue with this car where one of the rails was not locking in correctly. I would pull up the manual release bar to slide the seat back and forth. I would release it, and then they're supposed to lock in on both sides. Well, the right one was not locking in, and because of that, when I would brake or accelerate, the seat would slide forward and to the left because the right rail wasn't locking in. So it's uncomfortable, and it's really unsafe to have the seat not lock in completely securely. So I knew I was going to have to remove the seat to do this. I couldn't really figure out what the issue was with the seat in place. So in order to remove the seat on any modern car, especially with airbags in them, the first thing you have to do without exception before you start to disconnect the seat is you need to disconnect the battery. These cars have airbags in them in the seats, and if you leave the battery connected, there is the potential that the airbag could deploy. It's really dangerous, and it's going to become a very expensive repair if that airbag accidentally deploys. So take the extra couple of minutes to disconnect the battery. You're talking on this Corolla, it's one 10mm bolt. You disconnect the negative, you tuck it off to the side so it doesn't accidentally reconnect, and you're going to wait 15 minutes. So if there is any electrical connectivity in any of the circuitry, it basically runs out completely. So while you're giving it that 15 minutes to let the power run out of the car itself, you're going to want to take off the plastic vanity covers that are on the bolts for the seats themselves. So let's go ahead and get started and go over how to take those covers off to access the bolts to get the seat out. Okay, you're going to have a cover over all four of the bolts themselves. The ones for the front are basically the same. You have two clips right here on the sides. You're basically going to have to spread them apart. So what you're going to do is push in the middle, and that should give you just enough room where these little clips, you should have enough room to then pop it off. So the fronts are pretty simple. You might have to fight it a little bit, but it's not too bad. On the driver's side outer, you have those same two style clips right here. Same thing, you're going to have to push down and try to get them to spread apart. Be careful, there is the potential to break these things. They're just plastic clips. So this is the outside one that's just below where the seatbelt is. And then on the inside one, near the center console, this does not have those same style clips. You basically have two sliders here that they lock into, and you have the single clip on the side here. You might have to push that with a screwdriver to get it out. But these are basically all four of the covers. And once you get all four of these out, now it's pretty simple to unbolt the seat. So let's go inside the car and take a look at that. All right, now in the car itself, once you get the seat out, you can vacuum this up nice and clean. You have a lot of good access. That's what I did. You have four 14mm bolts. 1, 2, 3, and 4. They can come out in any order, doesn't matter. You're probably going to have to fight them a little bit because after so many years, you're going to get a little bit of rust on the bottoms of the bolts. They just thread out normal, left to come out, right to go in. So I use my electric ratchet. You can use a manual one or a wrench, whatever you may have. Once you get all four bolts out of the car and off of the seat brackets, now you have to contest with this wiring harness. Because this is a pretty basic car and I don't have any sort of power or heating in the seat, I had 3 connectors. This one didn't do anything in my case. This is real simple. You have a single clip here. You basically just press it back with your thumb, pull it out to release it, just like any other clip. Same thing with the center one. This is for the seatbelt sensor. Same thing, you have a clip here. You're going to push that back with your thumb. You push that back and it pulls out just like any other clip. The yellow one is different. This is for the airbag. This is why you disconnect the battery. You don't mess around with these. This has 2 safeties on it, so it's a little bit of a pain. You have this white tab back here that's basically inside of this yellow housing. When you push this white tab and you slide it back, only the yellow piece will slide. You'll see that the white connector on the inside will stay in place. You have to push this tab again and push it in a little bit harder and then pull it out. So again, it's going to be sitting in upside down like this, but you'll see from this perspective, white tab down, the yellow piece slides back, push the white tab down again a little bit harder, and then pull the whole thing out. That's how you get all 3 of these out. Just be patient, you don't want to break it, and we'll take a look at how these actually connect to the seat itself, as well as the issue that I was running into. Now from the underseat perspective, you have the 3 female connectors as well as this tab that holds the wiring loom housing in place. From the factory, they use black electrical tape to hold it on. I would recommend just cutting the tape rather than trying to remove this piece because you're probably going to break it if you try to get it off. It's a one-time use only piece, so just cut that black electrical tape and that will allow the housing that holds everything to be removed once you get the connectors out. The 3 female ends of the connector. In my case, this is a dummy connection that doesn't do anything because I have no heat and no power running to the seat, so that just pulls straight out. The center connector is for the seatbelt sensor. What retains it is this small tab in the center. And then finally on the end, the yellow connector for the airbag system. So just like the white piece next to it, it has the single tab in the center. So you basically, all 3 of these just pull straight off of the female ends of these connectors. And then once you get this end off, you can remove the wiring harness and you can fully remove the seat from the vehicle. Now, the issue I was experiencing with my seat was, like I said, this rail was not locking in. You can see here's your manual release bar for the track to adjust the seat back and forth. It's locked in right now. Nothing's holding it back. It should be like this. Fully locked in, nothing moves. This side was moving freely. Shouldn't do that. That's not right. That's unsafe. It's really uncomfortable when you step on the brake and you feel the seat slide back and forth. So I knew something was causing it to not lock in. Was it broken? Was something bent? I wanted to get the seat out so I can get a good visual look at it. When you release this, that's when it's supposed to slide like normal. And then when you release the bracket, it should lock in. This one's still not doing that. So after doing a good comparative side-to-side inspection of it, what I noticed was on the side that's working correctly, you have the metal bar, you have this bracket, and then you have a spring on the very bottom that forces it into place. What I noticed was on this side, somehow the spring jumped over on the other side, whether it got bumped by something under the seat, somebody kicked it, whatever it wasn't locking in. So the fix was I needed to move this spring. That's all it was. Very simple. So now we can slide it back and forth. Now we're locking into place. It was that simple, and I was able to, like I said, do a good visual inspection, compare side to side, and figure out this spring, essentially this silver bracket, forces that pin to lock into the rail itself. And because the spring wasn't holding it down all the way, it had nothing to guide it and force it into place. So the only thing I have to make sure I do is just now manually make sure that I line the rails up correctly, so when I go to reinstall the seat, they're not offset from each other and the seat's not trying to adjust diagonally. But other than that, it was that simple. So that's all it was. If you're having experience with one side not locking in, check this assembly. The bar goes on the top, the locking arm in the middle, and then the spring on the very bottom. Make sure they're both set correctly, and then that should hopefully resolve the issue if you're experiencing this issue with one side, or maybe even both, of the locks not locking in place for a manually adjusted seat. So I hope this helped everybody out. Thanks for watching.